Town of Fairfield Shellfish Commission. Welcome to the March 12th, 2025 meeting. We have a call to order. We have a quorum. Present, John Short, Bruce Kiefner, Sean Cohen, Cindy Wakeman on the line, Lizette Enhofer on the line, and Hugh Stein is present.
How you doing, Bruce? Hey, John.
All right. Approval of draft meeting minutes for February 12th, 2025. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes? Any changes, corrections, questions?
No. They look good.
Good. Someone want to make a motion to approve the minutes of February 12th, 2025?
I make a motion to approve the February minutes.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
I'm in favor. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. All right. Committee reports, clam relay and planting. Another probably 2 months before we can do any kind of planting, so no real report on that. Water and habitat quality.
Okay.
Bruce, you got that?
Okay. Yes. In the month of February, we were open 28 days and closed 0. So we batted 1,000. Year to date, we've been open 59 days and closed 0. So we're at the top of the list, and we had, in the month of February, we had 2.67 inches of rain, but obviously they were not concurrent, so it didn't close us.
No, we did actually close for a few days, but it was a mistake, it looked like. An email.
Yeah, I saw some things going back and forth.
Yeah. Let's see if I got that. So Emily sent out a reopening notice to us, and I guess what had happened was we closed by mistake, so they reopened us. So we're closed, I think for a few days, but that'll be in the next report, next month. Anything else on water and habitat quality?
Nope. You have anything, Sean?
All right, we'll move on to permits and access. Lizette and Cindy, you don't have the minutes in front of you, so Bruce, you want to get that?
Okay. For year to date, we have sold 51 resident, 46 senior, and 4 non-resident, which brings us to a total of 101 year to date for revenue of $1,640. And interestingly enough, of those, 83 were online and only 18 were in person. Or via mail.
Is that separate? Is that a change, or is that a different change trend you're seeing?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it used to be here that you went right across the hall and you gave them your money, and they asked you for your name and all your particulars, and they wrote it out by hand, and then they went to a receipt book, wrote that same information in there, gave you a paper receipt for the cash that you paid, or the check, and then they went to a laminating machine and laminated what they had just written up, and then put it on the tag. And you can imagine it's fine if one or two people walk up, but if they get a whole bunch of requests and all. So we migrated to what we have now, which you've seen, which is using the same card that the Parks and Rec Department uses. And we bought a printer so that we can print those. And we bought several years worth of blank cards, so they don't change color, they're all white. But we can put the respective year on the front. And then we also now put the QR code so that if you scan the QR code with your phone, it says Shellfish Beds open, Shellfish Beds closed. And that enables us to avoid the whole thing by telephone, by website, and by having to change the sign at Casco Beach, which was complicated because of staffing and timing and everything else. But now, once Tim Bishop gets the word, by email, he can remotely go online and change the status. And the status is indicated by a clam open or closed.
Oh,
So
really?
on those permits,
That's cool.
it's skewed a little bit because one of those 18 is me. I walked in because I had to get the permit for the, gathering.
Okay.
So usually I probably would have done it a different way, online, I guess. But, yeah, as a walk-in.
But it's, the bottom line, it's streamlined it. And not only that, it now enables us to have a database because we now have Bruce Kiefner, Hugh Stein, Sean Cowan in the database. And we can associate, presumably, what you bought and when, and we know who's senior, who's...
So this is how fast it was. When I first started 11 years ago, we would mail out an envelope with a renewal notice in it. So we'd mail out, I don't know to how many permit holders, but there was only 75 permit holders back then. So it wasn't the worst. But then we started to get more and more permit holders with the more clams we put in the water. So we stopped doing the mail out and, some people were upset. I forget, what do? We just, I think we moved it online somehow, and then recently we've gone to the new system. But imagine, we used to spend a lot of money on paper and mailing and that, and
And it was a real burden on the staff, because if they were busy doing their regular job and had to do this on the side, a whole bunch of them came in. And so anyway, this has been great.
So how do they people buy beach passes by going to the Recreation Commission?
Mm-hmm.
Or they have to go down there, right?
No,
It's physical pass. Or you can do it online.
Yeah. So if you go down to Recreation, you can get a shellfish permit there.
Okay.
But you're just filling out the application that they'll give you a receipt, and then the card would get mailed to you.
So when they go to get their beach pass, why don't we just tack another $50 on and sell them a beach a shellfish permit as well?
Yeah, so it's not a bad idea is to have like...
Or say, oh, wait a second, you're a resident, so it's only $35.
Right.
And then everybody in town should buy one.
Yes. It's a good idea.
I'm allergic to shellfish.
It's like asking the person who orders the Big Mac if you want fries with that.
Yeah.
Just in case you want some shellfish.
When I buy my
That's a
fishing
good
license,
idea.
you buy your fishing license, there's a regular license, then there's the all waters, then you can add the trout stamp, So just adding the
Keeps upselling them, yeah.
shellfish permit is kind of easy at $20 a pop.
Do we know how many people actually renew it? I've done it in person because you can leave with it and stick it in your car and go to the beach that day. Otherwise, I order it online and they mail it to me. Do we know how many people go in and?
Yeah, the only question I have is whether or not they would want to be promoting this. If we ask them, they've been.
It's Fairfield. It's part of the town.
There's not a lot of money. There's some people who would push back, but a lot of people would just think nothing of it.
One thing that we haven't clarified, or it's not clear to me, is there a threshold when you need a permit and when you don't, in age?
No, we haven't
I mean,
We haven't done that.
does a 10-year-old need a permit?
Oh, no, because they're minor, so I think it's 16 and up, something like that, maybe it's 18, I gotta look at the actual regs.
Okay, I mean, that, I think that's important, because when you go to the clam clinic, which we do in June, and we get several hundred people, it's always, the beauty of it is multi-generational. You'll see little kids, you'll see parents, sometimes grandparents, but lots of kids, and the kids love it. And so if somebody said, well, you know, I've got 2 kids, and how much is it gonna cost me for a permit? Well, it's gonna cost you $20. How, you know, because Johnny and Susie are under the threshold.
Yeah, I was thinking about a family permit, and it would work the same way as just buying straight up permits. So you could do like a family permit for $50, right? And then the whole family goes out there, and we could, maybe bought just 2 single permits, but
I don't think it was gonna do that. I think if one person in the household buys one, I think everyone's just gonna tag along with that.
yeah.
So technically what we're doing is we're gonna get a subset of people that are buying it that'll go, oh, we go as a family, by the family.
Yeah.
I think a number would go for it, maybe a third, half.
Possible. So that's all, that would be a change for next year.
Yeah.
But that's a good idea, asking, we could,
Or even have at the counter down there, even just, you know.
Well, frankly, the broader question is,
Shellfish
when you go to
permit
get
here.
your beach pass, which everybody does, shouldn't they just say, all right, do you want to golf? Do you want shellfish? Like, what else do you want? Because you're right there, you're at the counter.
here's the menu.
Right, what else would you want? I mean, it's not just us.
Well, I used to work out, at Equinox before that, Southport Racket Club.
Mhm.
Now I work out here in town
For $10.
for nothing, for like 1 month of Equinox.
Right.
Not even.
Yeah, not even.
One
So I
week.
hear them selling stuff all the time, beach passes and things. And I listen to these ladies, and there's no, you know, they're like, here it is, here's the price, and people just get out the checkbook and they don't think twice. And we offer a pass that gives you access to the beaches in case you want to, you know, go out there and get some fresh clams, award-winning clams or whatever. It's only another $50.
Okay, how do we get them to say that? Say, you know, when someone goes to buy their beach sticker, say, do you want a shellfish permit with that? How do we get the person there, or the online thing? We have to talk to Parks and Rec.
I think Sean has a good point. You may not even have to talk to people about it. You can just simply have a menu up there. Here's what we offer. We have a beach pass. We have a shellfish pass. I mean,
Right,
and,
but
you know,
we're
which
just
is...
trying to tag on. We can't do anything for the Parks and Rec, you know?
No, but along what you've been saying, I think we've all been saying, Parks and Rec puts this book out to promote the benefits of Fairfield.
Right.
And so it might be golfing, it might be, you know, they might say, hey, would you like to get a gym pass? It's, you know, people go, oh my gosh, that's only $25? You know, I paid $225 for 1 month.
Yeah.
It, you know, and they go, oh, and sometimes it's, I think, and Sean has brought this up, it's just that people aren't even aware of these other choices. In other words, oh, that's a deal.
So, but when they're selling the actual beach passes, they send me the renewal thing online, I renew it. So how do we get them to say, you want a shellfish permit with your beach pass?
Well, somebody would have to come up with a good, compelling script. Is Kendra online?
No.
Okay. Well, someone who's marketing experience could work with Anthony at the Parks and Rec. I could talk to Anthony, I know him. You know him?
Met him.
Okay.
Sean's got a little marketing experience, I think.
I would come up with something, and just like so easy, it's not even a thought. Oh yeah, $50, here you go, add another $50 on. We're at what now, 300 permits now, per year or something? Right, we could easily go to 10,000, even if we only got a small percentage of households.
Yeah, you're right.
I think...
Sean talked about that too, about 6 months ago, that, you know, there's 65,000 people in Fairfield.
Yeah.
you know, the number he said was a little high, like 31,000 should have permits, but, we're getting, like, if with something like that, it could be between.
So I think it's not necessarily even a marketing message. I don't think we can train them to deliver, do you want fries with that, or what, you want to supersize that? But is Anthony in charge? Can he give us the ability to basically let those people at the desk know, are you buying a beach pass, do you want a shellfish permit with that too?
Right.
Just ask.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
So at the desk.
1,000 yeses. I think it's great.
So I think we just
Point
have to
of
talk
purchase.
to, we'd have to talk to Anthony.
Yep.
And say, listen, we need, you know, we need to raise
Let's sit
more
with Anthony.
funds and that, and
But I
we offer
also,
this great product.
Yep.
but I also think that when they send the form out to you by email, if they know that you had a beach pass, but you don't have a clue that they have the gym down there for so much a year, you know, $120 a year, whatever the number may be, I can't remember what it is. So you go, oh, I wasn't aware of that. And I think,
I'm not exactly sure. Has anyone renewed? My wife does it for me, I'm not gonna lie. So, when I get the email, I don't do anything, but I haven't clicked on the link. Does it take you to a menu? Possibly?
no, I doubt it. I don't think that it does.
I think it just takes you to the one thing. And I think we're talking about two things. I think, number one, that's a Parks and Rec thing, saying, giving you a full Chinese menu, if you will, of things you can click on. But I think that's more their thing. If we want to stay in our lane, let's see if we can just go in and it's just like it's like Beach Plus. Get your Beach Pass Plus.
Mm-hmm.
It includes shellfish. I think it's a longer sale to get them to build out the functionality to have drop-down menus and click, I'll take these, and it adds them all up and puts them in your cart, and then you cash out for the whole thing. I love it as a resident.
Beach Plus, Beach
Yeah.
Pass Plus.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's how we sell it to Anthony.
So we have to talk,
And that's the way the apps are doing it now on streaming. Everything's a plus.
Yep.
Apple Plus.
okay, well,
Maybe we can be the test for them, and if it works, then they'll take us as a pilot test and say, let's offer everybody everything.
And we're offering Sean's marketing expertise. We're gonna help you create other revenue streams for the town of Fairfield. This is how we see this working.
All right, so who wants to talk to Anthony?
I'll give him a call.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. What do we try to implement this before it gets
Yeah.
too hot out? Yeah.
Well,
That's
that's easy.
Yeah.
It gets real crowded in there around Memorial Day. That's when everybody doesn't do it, and then they're like, I wanna go to the beach this weekend.
So I just hit renew, so I'll see what comes up.
Now, who's our partnership with in terms of the equipment? Cause I would be wondering, just like, how do I do that?
So
Where do I go?
this is, just scroll. So there is a menu,
Well, yeah, I was on that,
but what, shellfish isn't on there.
a rake and stuff.
I was on this morning.
We need to get on that.
You ever do one of these?
Yeah,
Bonfire?
yeah.
We have,
Things sold out in
we have
6 minutes.
done. is
Which one were you
promoted
looking at?
local
Any of them.
energy
Oh, really?
that
All
sell-
gone.
So,
Like
Mike Harlow
Yeah,
used to be on the commission, used to,
And maybe we haven't
Not
done
one
it
every
lately.
year. Yeah, one for the Boy Scouts,
Who
one
does?
for his son's birthday.
How did he get them? I don't even know how he got them.
I used to bring tons of wood.
John, who sells rakes?
Bass Pro, so there's a menu,
Oh, cool.
so we should probably try to get on there.
Yeah,
at least,
absolutely.
on the front page, I don't know if we can, but we'll try.
And then whoever sells the rakes, we make them an exclusive partner, and they promote our clam permits.
Yeah, the problem with the races is like, the tackle shop, they get 6 of them, and, you know, Bass Pro Shop gets 6 of
We're gonna have
them.
10,000 people coming for rakes. Better go get some
They'll
rakes.
still get 6 of them, I'm telling you.
Okay.
A lot of people order them online from, clamming.com, KB White.
Oh,
Or
okay.
rib rake. The hardware store used to sell them, Posters Hardware, but the ones they tend to sell are like kind of the cheaper basket rakes. To go online, I don't know where people really get their rakes. A lot of them are older
I
rakes.
think Posters used to sell them back when they used to also sell the permits.
Yeah, they used to sell that one with the nice wood handle on it. I don't know if they
And they
still sell them or
nice
not.
baskets there too.
My guess is Amazon these days. It'll be at your house in 3 days.
Yeah. So,
Well, that sort of brings us over to something that you could talk to Kendra about, because if we're talking about permits, these are places that you can get rakes. In other words, you know,
Okay, yeah.
This kind of thing, and if we can work out something with Parks and Rec, we can bring that up, and we can also put it on our website. And Tim Bishop has a good working relationship with Parks and Rec. I mean, they were extremely helpful in setting up the permits, training his staff on how to set up the printer. They sent somebody up over, so, there's a lot of, conservation does a lot of stuff. A lot of the trails that they have are, tied in with Parks and Rec. I mean, there must be 25 conservation trails in the town of Fairfield.
Really?
All right, we're gonna move on a little bit here. Do you wanna talk to Tim Bishop first, or just straight talk?
Yeah, I'll talk to Tim in case he thinks there's an issue. Good suggestion.
Okay.
All right, we're moving on to Southport Beach reopening, and I'm just gonna say there's no report.
No.
Commercial shellfish regulations. We have plans to work on that and get some commercial shellfish regulations in place. That's me, Bruce, and Sean, all right. So, we'll have to talk at some point at the next meeting or something, we'll go over it.
Just the thing we should coordinate with like the town's attorney, this is gonna be a legal thing, or we're gonna be putting out kind of
Yeah, we've done it in the past, but we will run it by them, yeah.
okay, so is that something they wanna participate in early, or we do it and we bring it to them for approval?
I'd say we bring it to them for approval.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll look at a few other towns and how they do it.
Yep.
Possibly talk to Dave Carey. My feeling on all that is that, on the actual harvesting, that it's just out in open water, nothing in Sasko Creek, nothing in Mill River, nothing in Pine Creek, and nothing in Ash Creek.
And we do need, I can follow up with, Jeff Stedman on the Minogue Smith, because Minogue Smith is actually a shellfish bed that we potentially could lease out or.
Yeah, so it would be a spot where all that sand was recently dumped, and as that spreads out, instead of putting shell in Ash Creek or whatever, we could just load a boat and bring it out there and just spread it on that area.
And I missed last month, is that property, Smith property, is something out in the water?
Yeah, it's a 112 acre piece that goes almost over the Westport line and comes across towards the channel. At one point there was a deed, it's written about in our, shellfish management plan. It gives a coordinates and everything like that, but in order to turn it into Fairfield town property, we'd actually have to have some kind of paperwork, and then that would have to go to the Secretary of State, and
Is there really old paperwork? I mean, you can't give away land underwater anymore. Is it really old?
Yeah, it's old.
1600s, 1400s?
No.
I mean,
late 1800s, early 1900s.
Right.
So at one time, they came up with these natural beds because there were so many people that wanted shellfish, and they gave away like 2-acre lots all over Long Island Sound and that. And then people started to sell those or whatever, and they turned into bigger lots. And I guess this one was left to the town because it was off the town's waters.
Interesting.
Yes, we need an old piece of paperwork or something like that. Yeah, I've looked online. You can find the name. That's about it.
But we're gonna talk to Jeff Stedman, who's the consultant for harbor management, and he is very, very knowledgeable on this.
Yes. All right, so I'm gonna move on to oyster bed development. I've been thinking about trying to figure out a way to get the shell in the water without all the backbreaking work. I saw a pontoon boat today that someone might be willing to give away, and if the seats were all gutted out and everything, and, some sandbags put there, we could probably pile a bunch of shell on it and drag it to where we gotta put it in the water. and save having to put it in a ton of buckets and all that kind of stuff. And
Where would we load it?
we'd have to figure out how to load it over at South Benson. You know, they do have a couple tractors in that. If it could be done right, someone could probably get it on the boat from out of the back of a dump truck. I'm not sure. That would be more up like town courses alley to know if it would work or
How
not.
big a boat do you need?
So, right now we probably have about 1,000 bushels shelved behind the, workshop. So, we bring out, I think so, something like that.
That's a lot.
But we definitely will have 1,000 bushel because we can get more. Kendra's trying to.
Says
She's not.
Add me inaudibly. I don't know if we can add from this phone.
No, she should just be on the line.
Kendra, you there?
Are you still there? Cindy?
I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah, she called in.
just text me back, we can't add in.
Sorry, I'm gonna pause the meeting for a second. She's on the wrong number. She's on that number, you can only hear.
Hey, Bruce, question for you. This Shellfish fund balance, why do we have that fund balance? What is that for?
That's for all of our projects, or
So it
we
pays
spent
for-
money,
pays
we
for-
bought a boat, 10 years ago. You know, we bought a wooden boat, and,
So what is that money marked for this year?
some of it will go for clam relays, some of it will go for the clam clinic, some of it's gonna go for the, market clams for the clinic.
So how much money do we need to raise each year in order to meet whatever our goals or your expectations are?
So, so, it's at 30,000 now. When I started on the commission, it was at 26,000. And over the last 10 years, we've spent a decent amount of money and done what we wanted to do without any restrictions. And our balance is 30,000. So, if we ever need to spend some money, say, on massive DNA testing, or to put in $15,000 towards a new boat for conservation and the Shellfish Commission, that's what that money's for. A lot of that money came from a lawsuit years ago with a sewage issue in Bridgeport. So that's why there's a big chunk there. But, yeah, we spent some. I mean, we could spend some more money, I guess.
So if we double.
We have a couple of things we wanna do this year, so.
If we sold 1,000 permits,
Mhm.
we would, 20,000, we would almost double this.
Mhm.
We could easily sell 1,000 permits.
That's the goal, right?
Talked about, right?
Is that what our goal was, or was it to beat the other commission?
The goal was be the number one
Okay.
in the county.
Who's number one, Greenwich?
No, Guilford or
Oh, yeah.
Branford or something. One of the places that has
And they have
9 different areas.
500.
No, they had 1,900.
Oh.
1,900 permits. All right, so we're a little off topic here. So we're on oyster bed development. Not much going on, but we will be working on that coming up. We start doing things in June, so we'll talk about that. There is one thing, is I did send out an email, did everyone get it? There's a list of the dates for the Mill River, wetlands, these, program at Ash Creek, and, if anyone would like to join in on any of those days, it's a list, I think it's, early May or something like that,
It starts on May 2nd.
May 2nd.
There's trip leader training. And on
Yeah,
May 3rd, there's teacher volunteer walkthrough. And then Then starting in the middle of May, it's Tomlinson Middle School, Ludlow Middle School, it's all middle school kids. Griffith Woods Middle School.
So our involvement with that would be, there will be a college student there that's gonna take some oysters, and they put them on a table and a tray, and they use some of our spat collectors and stuff like that, and do a little talk about that. We can assist in that. Just sort of be on the trail when the kids are walking by, if they have any questions about, you know, what we're doing out there. We can point out to where we did the restoration and things like that. It'd just be nice to have the Shellfish Commission a little more involved with that group.
And that's May?
Yeah, since there's a lot of kids that go to that, and
of course, it's
another way to possibly sell some permits.
Mill River Elementary School kids?
No, Mill River Wetland Committee, and it's the Lake Tomlinson, it's the 3 junior highs,
Ludlow.
all the middle schools
all the middle schools.
in town. Mill River Wetland.
I will definitely try to help with that.
All right, you got the email? You'll see the dates on it.
I did. I printed it. I have it in front of me. Thank you.
Oh, perfect.
So I'll do the
Um,
trip leader training as well.
Okay. Go ahead with that.
I'm not available to do that because I work in a school, so of course I'll be working days. That's during
Yeah,
my
I hear
regular
you.
work.
I know. Yeah, I have the same issue right now. I work in the school system.
I work
but
too, but I'll do the best I can.
I'll take a couple days, like, give me so many days.
Mhm.
All right, so oyster bed development. So with Mill River Wetland Committee and those dates is, I had talked to Samantha Anderson, and she basically runs the whole river lab thing, about making an area where they can actually put some shell in to do some restoration, and then have it like be like a phase of over 3 years or something, and then kids next year put in another one, and then they can see like what happens when the spat gets there and the oysters, you know, start to grow, and they'll have it over a few years. So there's like a little bit of, got to go down and just make sure that there's a clear area where the path goes down, and then
We'd probably have to stake it or something so people would know.
yeah, we'll stake it with rebar or something like that. Or I've done painted rocks before and they disappear. It's weird. I don't know if people take them or rocks move around. But, and then we'll probably have to fill some baskets with shell, but I think
And also it depends
conservation help us
what the
with that.
tide cycle is when they're there. If you get out to Ash Creek at low tide, you can see,
I think they try to plan around the tides, but is it just a bunch of days straight?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
No,
the good news is that it is, yeah, sorry. The good news is they did note the low tide time, but also like on the 19th, it's 2 in a row. The 20th, it's two different schools in a row or classes in a row. So it's sort of, it's not as many mornings as it looks as it appears.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, there's a little bit that we have to do before that, but I'll handle the shell part of it, and then the area that I'm thinking is pretty clear already, so it'll just be like to remove a few oysters and a few shells, just so it's...
And also, what we've had at the clam clinic on the table is very effective in being able to see spat and then
Right,
different
so
growth.
they'll have that all set up because we give them our spat and shell, and we give them some oysters and that we have hanging. So they put it all out on a table, and
Okay, good.
I think there's 1 or 2 Fairfield youth students that are involved. So, all right.
If we have kids,
Go ahead.
sorry, I was going to say, if we have some high school or college students, can they get community hours to volunteer for this?
Yeah, it's a volunteer. Yes, they can.
Okay, thank you. I'll see if I can recruit if we need.
I wonder if we took some of those illustrations that we have and printed them up on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that showed how an oyster grows, the life of an oyster. And then at the bottom, very quietly, it says Fairfield Shellfish Commission, and, you know, how you can get our QR code that.
Yeah, I
Sure.
think we're gonna start off slow. This is our first time being involved with this. I think we're just gonna sort of, you know, watch, make sure no one's falling in the water or whatever, kinda, you know, they do that anyway. Answer a few questions, even if you don't know the answer, you know, point to the oysters. Just sort of, you know, just to help out a little bit, but we're not there, like, really to be there to promote the Shellfish Commission event. We're just assisting, and, I think that's enough. If we have some of our gear on, a hat or a shirt or whatever. And if it's cool out, we'll have our new rain jackets. You don't have one yet, but at some point.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, let's move
Perfect.
on. Communications. Who wants to start off? Bruce, you got the,
Okay, we have submitted 2 ads to the Parks and Rec Department. One is formatted for a half page. We've changed it up slightly. This is for a half page, and this is formatted for quarter page. And so these are what we got, a little bit more readable.
I think you can see it better.
Yeah. And it does have a border. We submitted it early prior to the deadline and worked with the woman who was laying it all out to try to facilitate it, make life as easy as possible. If she needed any graphic sizing or anything like that, we would accommodate that, because Rich Haggett is the fellow who does it, is very good at that. And hopefully, although there's no guarantee, of course, that we'll get a half
You
page.
confirmed everything on the ad, right? The dates, the times, all that? Okay.
That's correct.
All right. Yeah, I did too. I'm just making sure. No, it's in print. So, it looks pretty good. I think it's, hopefully we'll get the half page. We'll probably get the quarter, but it is what it is.
Right.
All right.
Or you may, they can be purchased as a Beach Plus pass at the Regs Commission.
Well, we can't,
That's what it says in the verbiage. I mean, it says they can be purchased to the conservation.
I don't know whether we can make any copy changes now, but the deadline was,
Okay.
Yeah, the deadline was Friday, right? Or last Friday?
yeah,
Last Friday.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause Kendra was trying to get something in, and it was already
Yeah.
submitted.
No, I was trying to get something in before the deadline, but,
Oh, you're on.
I look forward to next time. I was in advertising. I'm happy to help anytime.
Yeah, well, the next one will be, what are we at now, summer? Or is this,
This is summer.
this is summer? So the next one will be fall, winter.
But
Okay,
any
perfect.
ideas that you had, Kendra, let's use those moving forward, not only for an ad, but for whatever.
Okay, perfect. I cleaned it up, and so it was just a little busy, that ad, so I created a new one, but yeah, no worries, whenever I can help.
All right,
So
so
this
since
won't be
you're
in
on,
for the summer? Will not be.
Is.
It is in for the summer.
Yeah.
And what?
The deadline was at the end of the month, and that,
Okay.
Kendra, since you're right there, do you wanna ask
Mhm.
Sean about the Instagram and Facebook and all that?
Sure, I do a lot of social media, as a writer and photographer, so if you'd like help, I'd love to just sort of try to get the buzz started.
So,
Just a
we
tasteful
have-
amount of,
problem is,
I'll have to dig back. I'm logged into Facebook, and for whatever reason, I think I told you I got booted out of Instagram a while ago.
Right.
And I don't think you knew the password, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to
so,
get that back open again. Yeah, exactly.
or,
Somehow
I
it
mean,
just,
we could create a whole new account. I know we lose all of our followers and that.
maybe we can request the question is, if we request like a password reset, who's it gonna get sent to? Who opened it?
You're an admin on Facebook, right?
On Facebook, I'm in, but
Yeah.
on Instagram, if they wanna reset it, who do we think that's gonna go to? Can we list it as an
You know,
admin?
I gotta look back, because when Allison Savona left,
Right.
she gave me a bunch of passwords. And
Yep, and I think you passed those. Maybe I'll even check back.
I don't know if they were changed. So, we have to make Kendra an admin on the Facebook page.
Yep,
So can you do that?
I'll try, yeah.
So Kendra, you're on Facebook, right?
Yes,
And-
and Instagram. If you want to send me the Instagram password when we get a new one, or just let me know how I can help. I'm happy to do it. I've done it for multiple businesses.
Right. So I don't know if you have to like the Shellfish page. Did you like the Shellfish page? Most likely, right?
I did. Yes.
So someone's gonna try to make an admin,
Yep,
all right? That way you can
Thank
post
you.
whenever. All right?
Perfect.
I will
We'll get the bus
ask-
started. Thank you.
Yeah, and then my Facebook account got stolen. I've opened a new one, but I don't have any friends, and I like some pages,
We
but.
know that.
and if we could back up just a bit, so I missed last month's meeting, so I don't know whether or not you guys went through this. And I think part of what we've talked about, there were different efforts we tried for getting people that weren't already following Facebook or us on social media, get them involved. I think we've gone around and tried to market in different ways on different platforms, but what we talked about 7 minutes ago, I think has the potential to be sort of the campaign that hangs over a lot of the things that we're doing. Let's call it Make Fairfield #1 for Shellfish, or Nobody Loves Shellfish More Than Fairfield, something like that, where basically, you know, meetings with Anthony where we're discussing why we want to do this, because we want to be the #1 town in the county. When we're talking to Bill Gerber and asking him to promote things on his weekly, because we want to accomplish this thing. So part of me would like us to, maybe the three of us, Kendra, myself, and Bruce, to have maybe a conversation. Doesn't have to be right here, but do we want to have a central theme under which things start to plug up? The clinic is an example of us making, you know, Fairfield #1, whatever it might be, or whether we want to have things be sort of disparate.
So you're definitely, everything is like what we want, so what you're saying.
Yep.
Kendra, you missed out, you missed the discussion we had a few minutes ago regarding the Parks and Rec Department, and Sean is going to be
Okay.
speaking to Parks and Rec, seeing whether or not they, Parks and Rec, could promote Shellfish or make mention of Shellfish when people get their beach passes. Would you like a beach pass plus, which includes for another $20, it would include not only your beach pass, but it would enable you to go shellfishing at your convenience at Pasco Beach.
Awesome.
And
That's
it would
awesome.
be fairly easy. They would collect the money, do the application, and then there'd have to be notification sent to conservation so they could print the permit. I think that's kind of a simple thing to do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm sure someone.
And also boat slips as well.
That's another one. How many boat slips are there? 500? Probably.
Yeah, a lot. There are moorings too.
Yeah, we could do the same thing and talk to Justin about that down at South Benson.
Kendra, were you on when we were talking about trying to sell more permits than anybody else?
Yes, that's awesome.
Okay, good.
I'm into
I
help.
mean, just to final note, when you're talking about all these efforts in the schools, nobody goes for gamification of winning more than kids. And you send them with the, we want to win, they go home to their parents and say, what can we do? We can buy a permit. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how we take these educational opportunities and we shift it into gear.
I love it. It's awesome. I agree. I'm into help.
Cool.
All right, so we got some ideas. So you're gonna talk to Tim Bishop.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have 5 grown children that went through the school systems, if I can help in any way with that. And I'm also a grandmother here in Fairfield Beach. So hopefully I'll have some good people who I know to go to to support us.
And how old are your kids? The youngest one?
They're in their 30s and the youngest is 26.
Okay, so that's 5 permits right there.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
I already bought my husband in mine, so we're in.
Oh, wow, great.
Yeah, we have them. We love them. The plastic, and it's got the QR code. Great looking. My husband even said, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome."
Yeah, it's a nice looking permit and it works.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
job.
what else do you wanna talk about on communications? So we covered social media, different ways to sell permits. Bruce talked about his
The
Metro
newsletter.
magazine. Newsletter, that's it. Go ahead, Kendra.
I'm happy to help. I'd love to see one of the previous, if there's one that I could just browse just to get an idea of what everyone's looking for. But I'm happy to start that up again and hopefully, try to get, again, just, a lot of excitement and interest here going forward. So I'm happy to write that is it once a month, I believe?
I would go once a quarter, maybe.
How'd the newsletter come back up? Newsletter sort of died when I joined.
Kendra wanna write it.
Oh, right.
So, what was that? Can't hear you.
I think
Okay, so when do we want to get the newsletter out? For like May 1st or April 15th?
Sure. I think April 15th.
All right.
Are you sending it
And
to
I'll-
existing permit holders? Who's gonna get who and how are people getting a newsletter?
So
Well,
we'll
that's
try to-
yeah.
On Facebook and Instagram, we could possibly get the link on there, right?
The other,
Well, that's not newsletter then. You're just using the distribution of
Well, I
platform.
don't know.
I mean, it is a modern day newsletter. That's why I'm asking why we need the newsletter.
We must have an email list because we send out emails. We used to send out emails if the beds were open and closed. So we could use that email list. And then,
we also, we have to have a database, I believe that Parks and Rec has a database that has everybody's email address on it, because,
We have to have.
when you register, they're getting your
so
email
it's just
address.
sending the
We
newsletter
have-
to our own people.
we have-
Kendra, you might be closer to this than me, but the last time I worked with newsletters, the open rate was about 3%. Can you weigh in on what current open rates are?
It's definitely the newsletter would probably have a higher success rate on the Instagram and the Facebook, because I can put it on those as a post, but it will be more informative and in more detail than it would be as just a normal Instagram post. But no, I think we could certainly test it and see if the Parks and Rec will help us. And even Bill Gerber or whomever. We can speak with different people and then reconvene. But the newsletters, some people prefer those too, because some people aren't on the social media. Actually, more and more, less and less are on social media. I think people are almost kind of getting tired of it. So we could test that.
Website, right? It'll get posted to the Shellfish page, our town website.
And
And
we can,
then it can get sent out to the permit holders, the email list we have. I do have a lot of emails from the clam clinic that were in one of the bins.
I'm platform agnostic. I guess my question is, what's it supposed to accomplish?
It doesn't-
How many people do we think are gonna see it? And are we able to attach the software to the email service that'll show us, if we sent 1,000 out, how many people opened it? Because if
Right.
4 people opened it,
So, it's kind of just an informative, fun thing about shellfishing for our permit holders, truthfully. On
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram, it's still gonna get just to our followers, right? So,
Correct.
it's just something for them to look at.
no, I get
So
platforms.
the town must have a partner for that.
But I'll also ask the Parks and Rec, and I'll also ask Bill.
Who looks at it?
I'm not sure if anybody we're partnering with does that, but I'm saying we should request it.
Okay.
What was that, Kendra?
I was saying I can also ask Parks and Rec, and I can also ask Bill Gerber in the town and Beverly at the Chamber if they would mind posting, sharing it for us, the newsletter. So I will absolutely ask and reach out and see if, yeah.
Sure, Bill
more
Gerber will do it on his, News from the First Selectman, with a link for that there.
Good. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll be our first announcement of let's make Fairfield number 1. That's like.
Yeah, and we'll be giving him the ad for the clam clinic coming up, to put on that.
Okay.
Make Fairfield number 1 in what?
Shellfish, some sort of tagline, something basically, because we want to basically say, hey, we're Fairfield, we're on the water here, who's number 1? Gloucester? I don't know.
We have done, like,
Airport?
we're the
Airport
first
does one,
in
that's it.
everything in the state with shellfish and that. Every single time, even this new permit card, the QR codes,
Yep. We can define it how we want, it's just really a call to action to say.
So it would
Don't
be,
we,
you know,
at the
most
same time we
permits in
do that,
Connecticut.
don't we also have to address some of the concerns that are out there in the world about the recent metrics, say, from Westport and Fairfield are off the charts, kind of, in terms of bad news.
that
Right,
is
the
one.
bird flu.
The bacteria levels.
Sure, we've published educational stuff on
Right
on
next to
that.
Bridgeport, that's like letting go, it's got smokestacks on we have to talk a little bit about the cleanliness of our water.
Well, the Bureau of Agriculture tests our water regularly, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, constantly.
It's not a casual, oh, we go out and sample it. The Bureau of Agriculture for the state of Connecticut tests our water. Not only that, but they test the shellfish meat. So this is very carefully supervised, if you want,
Yeah.
and monitored. It is not an optional process. It's done, the Bureau of Agriculture has got a tremendous responsibility for the health of anything that's in a regulated shellfish bed area. So the last thing that they want is for there to ever be a problem. So they're very, very,
I believe
lot of
the
water
state,
testing going on.
I believe the state is doing this in a responsible way, and more than anything, Bruce, I believe what you're saying to me,
yeah.
but I think the average citizen doesn't hear that from you.
So I think number one in education is absolutely part of being number one.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of what I'll do with the newsletter. I'll put actual facts from the Bureau of Agriculture. And the other thing is, many of the oysters, we're putting them into the water, so they weren't actually from the sound, right?
Yes, they are.
The ones that
No,
were,
they're all from the sound. Our oysters that we put in, we've caught as a spat, a microscopic oyster, and
okay.
thrown it out.
And our ad here, the lead bullet is water quality is continually monitored and tested by the Connecticut Department of Agriculture. So
I read that, yeah.
But
I don't want, so it's nice, it's good to talk about how clean the water is and that the clams are safe to eat and that, but it almost sort of draws attention to, you know, I don't know, that's how I feel like.
It can just be a tagline. I'll just, you know, and anything that I write, I'll certainly pass it through the committee.
Look at the number of permits we sell. 60,000, 70,000
Right.
residents in this town, we sell 300 permits.
Mhm.
And this is New England. We should
But
be
if
selling
you
a
go
lot more.
up the whole coast of Connecticut, the numbers, I mean, our number is pretty good, actually. Like, Westport used to be up at 900, they're at 5-something now, and they have a lot more ground than us. It's just
Our
something
shellfish
that
beds
people have gotten
are
away from.
extremely limited. The people that sell a lot of permits have a lot of area.
But from what he was saying is no one really sells a lot. The most one town has sold.
Well, I bet you if you get in
1900.
Rhode Island and Massachusetts, they sell a lot.
Yeah, that's different. People vacation there. You know.
They're selling day permits.
It's a different beach and everything. But it's, you know, yeah, no one sells a lot. The other thing with selling a lot of permits is then we have to get a lot of clams. So, like a lot of clams.
It's a high-level problem to have.
That's a high-level problem, yeah.
Right.
That's a good problem.
We can get them, you know, and if we're selling that many permits, we just put a relay boat out for a full week or something and, you know, put 800 bushel out there or something, you know. That'll satisfy the numbers.
Bottom line is, we're talking about.
I agree, though, we have to
Sorry,
mitigate some of the concern of the water quality.
What I don't like is when people put out the same thing in marketing across all different platforms, and if we're gonna have a newsletter that lends itself to long-form content could very easily be, that's our educational outreach. Here's what's going on, here's links to resources, these are the latest things from the state of Connecticut, and here's how, you know, Milford tests our water on a regular basis, and give people that comfort with, yeah, there's.
Comfort level,
It's involved, but we're on top of that, totally upfront.
Roll it front.
That's it. But I think more so than just even selecting things and reporting, let's let's tell the story, but then providing them with what we consider to be curated links that are the best ones out there regarding education. Some people might want to dig deep, and then we don't have to publish everything.
If we're gonna do that, you know, there's more than one place, testing our water. We also have the Unified Water Study going on, where the Bureau of Aquaculture is always doing tests there. Whenever we do a relay, we have to do a meat sample after that and dig up clams and have the meat sampled. I don't think we've ever failed a meat sample, and we rarely ever fail our water samples. In the past, we failed a lot more because we were doing them ourselves from the beach, and if the water gets stirred up at all, it's basically a fail. So the water's really not bad. The only thing we are sampling for, though, we don't test for chemicals, pollutants, anything like that. We only test for coliform bacteria. That's all we're concerned about, because that's what gets people sick. You know, the heavy metals, things like that is...
I mean, there's 70,000 acres. 70,000 acres that are leased out for commercial oystering.
You know,
Shellfishing in Connecticut.
For commercial oystering.
Yeah, but it's the same water.
Same water, yeah.
So
Exactly. I read an article and it said that
There's more
exactly the
shellfish
restaurants that,
acres than
yeah.
there are land acres.
Do we have any commercial oystering in Sheffield?
no,
There are no commercial oyster boats, no.
No.
we don't.
There
We
are
haven't issued
commercial
any
oyster
permits.
boats off.
No, I was just saying that'd be a good revenue share for us.
It's not.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah, not right now. If we were able to get that piece of ground and lease it,
Yeah.
then it would be a revenue stream. But, I mean, the commercial regulations we had, which we kind of got rid of, it was like a $50 permit fee for the boat. And then what they pay you for the amount of clams or oysters that they take is so minimal, it just doesn't add up to lose that resource. Like that, we have a very small natural bed, and that's where we get our clams for our relays.
And we have to limit the amount of people, I heard them talking about this in the Haven, people are going in and taking like full coolers worth of clams out, and we should limit that.
Well, they are limited now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
We're on communications. And what was the last thing we were talking about was the newsletter. So Kendra, you're gonna work on the newsletter. You have an environmental aspect to it. Something fun, maybe a recipe, some good stuff about clams. Sean can get these great pictures from Maine or something like, right?
I used to take pictures when I was eating oysters around the world and post them to the account. I haven't done that in a while since they locked me out of it.
You know, those old time pictures.
Oh, those, yeah. The old black and white?
Shepherd is on the beach with the woman clamming in a big long dress.
Oh, yeah.
But there's also, we might want to put in, we do have a boat called Aw Shucks. Take a picture of that, and let people know that we've got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Also,
Where
you
is
go
that boat?
on, what's that?
It's over a conservation shed right at the moment, but we have photographs of it.
Yeah, we have plenty of photographs. I could send you some.
Okay.
You should go on to All Things Clamming on Facebook. They put some really cool pictures up there and stories and stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, we're going to wrap up communications.
Yep.
We're going to the upwellers. Upwellers are off until probably May or June, depending on the weather, and really depending on the weather. May's a busy month, so is June, but there's not much that's starting them up, and we have oysters to put in them right now, or we can get oysters from the hatchery, so one or the other, but we'll discuss that next meeting. Reports from Conservation Department, our shellfish fund balance is $30,250.57 as of February 28th, 2025. As Bruce reported, we've sold 101 permits. As Bruce reported, our closure period has been 59 days open and 0 days closed this year. And our budget status, we didn't ask for an increase, is my understanding. Any old business we want to talk about? I don't think so. New business, Bruce, you got any new business? No, okay.
John,
Yes. go
I
ahead.
just want to say, I just did a quick peek, and if you go to our Facebook page and look under photos, there's probably over 100 photos of different things, of events that we've had, pictures of the boat, different things. So
Okay.
there's lots of stuff there to use that's us.
They're
So-
probably better photos than what I have too, so Kendra, you can go right on the Facebook page and grab some, photos.
Got it, thank you.
And then, unless anyone has some good photos of the boat.
I have some of the SPAC collecting.
Alright, yeah, I have some of the SPAC collecting, yeah. You know, that might not be bad to put something about the SPAC collecting, that we're gonna do it again this year. We'll send you some.
Okay, sure, if,
I have
Mhm.
photos of that I could always, I have quite a few. I have photos of you guys on the boat dumping shell,
Alright,
so.
yeah, that'll be good. So we're planning on what, April 15th and then another one, what, in July?
yes, whatever you guys want. You want it every other month?
It's up to you, you're the one handling it, so if you wanna put in that effort.
I don't think that, Kendra, I don't think that you have to hold yourself to a deadline. I think you wanna put something out that's meaningful. And when you have enough material, put it out.
Yeah,
But, you know,
Okay,
don't feel obliged that you gotta do it on a monthly basis or bi-monthly. I think, let's see how it works and keep going, but,
That's a great
try it
idea.
out. See what fits.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
see how this first one goes and how hard it is to put together.
Okay.
Alright, any informational? No, there's a bunch of bills, that are going up to the legislature in the state about shell recycling and restoration and sizes of oysters and all that. We'll see what happens. I think there's a public comment until Monday. If anyone's interested in looking that up, or if anyone's interested, I'll send you the email with all the bills.
Hopefully we're not stumped by the bird flu in Westport.
I didn't, what kind of birds have the flu, the geese or?
Yes, yeah, there's been some bird flu in Westport going around this week,
No. Oh.
so that
That's just-
might be tricky.
Waterfowl.
It's in Waterfall, yeah. All right, on other, Cindy, you still on the line?
Guess not.
No? Okay. Who wants to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move with.
I'm still here, sorry.
Oh, hold on. Cindy, I'm on other. What's happening with the Eagle Scout project?
Okay, so, Kyle has talked to Tim Bishop, and, he's gotten the okay to do the sign for the spat collectors in that area.
Okay,
He needs to meet with, Parks and Rec. I don't know if it's gonna be in April or May, to get the okay for, the one that's gonna go near the upwellers.
okay.
So we have half is okay and half is still up in the air right now.
Okay.
Do you have a budget for
Right.
materials?
I have a rough estimate, yeah. I know, I can email it to you. I don't have it in front of me right now. I know it's less than $100.
What'd you say it was?
I know it's less than $100.
Oh, okay,
On each one?
No, total.
total.
We went through this last year at Eagle Scout. They're supposed to raise the funds.
Okay. All right.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so now we're gonna adjourn the meeting again. Who's making the motion?
I move we adjourn.
Oh, second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Bye.
meeting adjourned.
Bye.